All right, so guys, we've got a couple of things to talk about. This is not going to be a very big one, not a very big live stream, because this one's going to be about spoilers. So if you guys do not like spoilers at all, click off this live stream because I'm going to be talking about spoilers for the upcoming trailer that I'm going to be building for the sequel to the A Fight for All series. Now, I know a lot of you may not understand what that series is, but if you go into Wattpad with just Cody, I will put my name in Wattpad. That is the exact name that I use in Wattpad. You can go there and you can read up on the A Fight for All series. You can then finally see what I'm going to be talking about, or at least have an idea of what I'm talking about. So this is spoilers. So if you haven't seen all of the A Fight for All series, this is going to be a pretty big spoiler. So I wouldn't watch this until you have all of it read. Okay? I'm going to assume you do. So let's get cut to the chase, shall we? The first part of the series is Cody in that series finally becomes a grandfather. Colin becomes a father of his own, and Carson is now born into the world. Now, Cody's got to think of brand new ways to come up with money, brand new ways to do things. And to him, it's going to be hard because he has to do something with his life. He knows that he can't just sit around all day. And so he creates a business, and not just any business, but a business that can help people achieve their goals in some way. Yes, the Jetsons Enterprises is a military infrastructural industrial capacity, but you know what? They do a lot more than just fight wars that the United Planets can't afford. They do more than that. They help other nations build things that they can't normally build, and also teach them how to build their own infrastructure, make their own structures, and give themselves a better hope for a better future. So a lot of people are saying, well, they're bad because they fight a massive amount of wars. You can't judge someone by their actions. You need to judge them by their intent of their actions. That's how you can truly judge someone. And I think that's one of the main ideas I had with the A Fight for All series. It doesn't just teach you that not everyone is going to be as so black and white as possible, but judging by people's intents rather than their actions is important. People are like, well, we need to judge by their actions. Well, their actions don't show the true intentions all the time. And see, that's the problem. People say judge by their actions, but at the same time, you don't know what their real intentions are. And I think that's going to be into the first part of the Fight for All series. So for the trailer, I'm most likely going to just have a description of a face up, and then someone's like, we have a problem. And then it just cuts and it starts showing massive amounts of damage, destroyed lands after battles. And then you're just going to see, we thought we could trust him. And then it cuts again, and then it just shows me in massive armor just pointing and charging at people. This is, we thought he was on our side. Honestly, that's so far I've got for the words and the description. And I've only been doing that for like 2 days. So I want this to be a great trailer. I want this to be a good trailer. But I also want the trailer music to be fitting. So if there's going to be a battle or a massive duel between people, I'm most likely going to use a song that's like a motivational or a legit duel battles between two people. So the one with the Godzilla and King Kong, that one, the Here We Go from Chris Classic, that's a good one. That is a good duel song. They did it pretty well too. But there are multiple other songs that I could use in a sense to better myself and for the trailer. It's not going to be a very big trailer. It's going to be decently small, probably going to take you 1 or 2 minutes to read it all. But see, that's the thing. The trailer only gives you a fraction of what you're going to see in the upcoming movie. The thing is, it's not a movie, you're reading it. So this could be more of a 5-minute description of the entirety of the book or the novel. It's going to be a big description because I don't want people to say, oh, well, you didn't give us enough information to make assumptions or base any theories off of. Well, I want that to be go. I want to create as many theories as possible so that you guys can get involved with it. And another thing people have been asking me is, what about Rico Gotias and Perseus Kelton? Perseus and Rico are dead. They're done. Both of them have died. Perseus redeemed himself at the end of his life. Rico died in Blaze of Glory, and everyone has died. All of the enemies and even some of the allies have died. So now there's only a handful of people that actually exist left. And in another stream, I have said the gloves are off with the sequel. I meant it. Someone in the Judkins family is going to die. But I'm not going to tell you who. I'm not going to tell you if it's the wife, if it's Mary Beth, if it's going to be Catherine, me, Colin, who. Now, the one person I am saving is Little Carson. Little Carson, guess who's here? Blacktop. So I've just been talking about a couple spoilers for the upcoming part, dude. So I said that the trailer is going to open with me being the antagonist, and they're going to say, "Oh wow, we lost our only person that could stop what's coming." So this is going to be a very, very dangerous fight. The first chapters of the Fight for All series of the sequel, action packed immediately. I'm not going to hold anything back. Gloves are off. Plot twists. Yeah, plot twists. There are going to be a lot of those. A lot of those. Here's the catch. You're not going to know where they're happening. They could be happening in front of you, right in front of your face as we speak. Who knows? I guess it just depends on how this series goes out. If I do the series right, I can make plot twists anywhere. But I will say 7 Friday. One other thing I've also been talking about and the discussion about is, how do I put this into words? I've also been talking about the limits of the brand new Fight for All series and how the plot armor, gone. Any character can now die a horrible death, or a character could change, a character could all of a sudden betrays people. This is going to be. I made the first one have plot armor because that one needed it. You have to have a good story, and there has to be some amount of plot armor to keep that story moving. There's not many stories that have no plot armor. I mean, come on, let's face it. But I want my story to have the least amount of plot armor, so when I actually do this, and I not only make the story but also write the characters, the lore is going to update to after the sequel. And yeah, she has way too much plot armor. That's what happens. You create an overpowered character. I don't want an overpowered character anymore. We already had one of those, and even though people weren't tired of it, it just doesn't feel right. That's why I'm saying I want a character that has less plot armor or none at all. So that means he can get hurt, he can get sent to the hospital, or the person in general can just die. Don't quote me on that. But that's the kind of the premise of the spoiler for the trailer. I also have Colin and Carson. Carson, by this time period, would be in his 20s and 30s. His dad would be somewhere in the 70s and 80s. I would be over 160. So I would be old, but I'm not anywhere near the required age to be old. 160 is nothing. That those years can fly right by. Yeah, basically. Powerful. We don't want overpowered characters. Yeah, yeah. They don't have plot armor at all, if that's the case. But you see, I did have two characters. Price has so much plot armor, dude. This man falls from like a 50 foot part in the end of Modern Warfare 3, falls on glass, takes no damage, and just pulls out a cigarette and just lights it. Like, come on. I know that there's supposed to be. Yeah. Price has so much plot armor. You could make a whole country's worth of plot armor out of his. So, yeah. The main premise of the. Yeah. The main premise of the entirety of this is just to allow people to make theories. So I already know that people are going to make theories, and I've had a couple people already start to create theories on my page. People have started to create theories on my page, and they have a theory that not only am I going to be evil, but someone in the family Rook scripted to die. Really? Like, really? Okay. Yeah. I have scripted someone to die from the Judkins family in the ending of the series for the Fight for All. So that means someone in the family that is in that series is going to die. Who it is, who knows? And anything is basically put up to at this point. Anything can happen, and I'm prepared to say, listen, this is what's going to happen, or just shut up and just give it. If I had any option to change what I had, I would probably not. Yeah, Shadow Company wouldn't let him die. Let's face it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about how spoiler is going to just blow up. Like Ethan said in the video, it's like spoilers. So if you don't want anything spoiled, I even put it in the description. It's like spoilers, bro. Spoilers. Spoilers. Yeah. Plot armor. There's one weapon that they have that the United Opponents has in its arsenal that is basically a nuclear weapon without the radiation or without the uranium. And it's called Tungsten Rod from God. I think you've heard of that before. Well, in the brand new trailer, they're going to show an upgraded version of that weapon. So it's not just going to be a tungsten rod from God, but there's going to be pieces of super alloy versions of iridium and rhodium, which both elements are extremely dense. Yes, tungsten rods. Well, imagine those rods getting shot out at Mach 3 by air pressure and then hitting the Earth's gravity, speeding it up exponentially until it hits the ground at Mach 10. That's basically what's going to happen. So now I just made the weapon 50 times more powerful. The only thing is, they're more expensive to build. I mean, rhodium, iridium, and yeah. And the exosuits, along with the major amount of suits, are going to be upgraded to super alloy suits because right now they're only titanium, uh, biomuscle, titanium, right? But after the sequel is introduced, you're going to see super alloy exosuits, super alloy mega suits. You're going to be seeing a lot more advanced technology even during that time. So, if what you have already seen now, you think that's advanced, just wait till you see what happens in the trailer. You've seen nothing, absolutely nothing. Oh yeah, Jenkins. Oh yeah, Jenkins in the Halo AFFA part. Jenkins is gonna be so pissed with what I do with his squad. I'm not gonna kill Jenkins, but I'm gonna fuck up his squad. I'm gonna be rude with you. I'm gonna just fuck up the squad. They're gonna have to fight special forces, not just any special forces. I've created the groups called the Highlanders. The Highlanders this is another spoiler for the upcoming series. The Highlanders are going to be in between the sequel and the old part of the. Basically, yeah. But with this, the Highlanders are basically super soldiers. Not only that, but they can choose from a massive arsenal of weapons such as exosuits, megasuits, super megasuits, um, titans, which are still in the military, by the way. Keep that in mind. Just the core just dropped in size because they didn't need it as big. They have plenty of other weapons to choose from. But now you have super soldiers that populate the military, and now you have it even worse because now you got the super soldiers that have super ally armor now have better tracking. So not only their senses are enhanced, their strength there is enhanced, speed becomes enhanced. You're basically an unstoppable force, a physically unstoppable force. And that's not even the worst of everything. Tanks get upgraded, armored vehicles get upgraded, ships get upgraded, tracking technology gets upgraded. So much gets upgraded within the 30-year period. It's remarkable. I plan the United Planets to do something incredibly destructive. Good luck for Jenkins. The squad was like, yeah, no. I don't know if the squad's going to survive, but I know Jenkins is going to have to because, well, that's going to be the only few instances of plot armor in the series. Now that's brought up, yeah. Jenkins, poor Jenkins, bruh. Hold up, I know exactly. Hold up, I'm a war crime time. Yeah. So if you've seen what we did with Eridanus 2, yeah, we that was a war crime. Yeah, Eridanus 2 got war crime. He just got antimatter missile to the face, and then you have millions of UNSC casualties. Oh. That was not good, especially for the UNSC. They need every man they can get, and they're losing world after world after world. They're revolting, insurrection, and now you have the United Planets invading. And it's not looking too good for the UNSC right now. Admiral Hood's going to have a lot to take in. They're losing their resources, their industries. They're going to be having a massive problem if they can't get resources to fight the war. But also with that, the last spoiler I'm going to give for the brand new trailer is now everyone looks different. I look older, so does Colin. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. They're because my characters are pretty powerful due to the technological the disarray of technology between the two sides. I have to make some of the main characters in the UNSC have plot armor. Like that's how bad it is in terms of technological advantage. It's so bad that I have to make them have plot armor. Another thing that I've also talked about is the last instances we're going to look older, technology is going to be better, and the last thing that needs to be said is what happens at the end of the trailer. The end of the trailer, you'll find out what happens, but I'll give a brief description. Somebody from Cody's past comes back into a fight against him who is now understanding what happens to Cody. The only thing I'm going to say is Cody's being brainwashed, and they have no idea who it is or what it's doing. That is my final spoiler, meaning is now someone's brainwashing Cody to become evil and to start attacking people. So now they have to figure out what the hell is going on, how they're going to fight it, and is there any way to get it back? Yeah, I told you. I fucking told you. I got the plot twists, and there's actually a reasonable explanation as to why. And I'm going to give you the spoiler as well. Variant X is the reason why I would go rogue. This is some Dragovich shit. Yeah, I take a lot of my respective approaches from Call of Duty, but at the same time, I like to make my own stuff. But now you know that Variant X is going to have a solid place within the both the trailer and the brand new sequel series coming up. Now you know that in, let's see, it's the 26th today, so that's 6 days. 6 days until the trailer gets released. Yeah, that's once that trailer's released, nothing's going to be put on, everything can be put on the table. So now Variant X has a role. Now it has a role in both the series as a whole, and now I can finally put lore in for Variant X to see what it does. And there are, funny enough, ironically, there are multiple variants of Variant X, which I will list in the chat. Variant T. Variant T is Variant Titan. It makes your body incredibly bigger, much stronger, but it also deforms you somewhat. So Variant T is like basically is the Flood. It's it's similar to the Flood. Gas masks on. Gas masks on. Well, funny enough, there's actually a way to counter that, and this variant of Variant X can do that. Variant G. Variant G is Variant Gas or gas mask, if whatever you want to call it. That variant can bypass. Yeah, Variant T is a whole. I can make a horror game out of Variant T, but Variant G is basically a mixture between X and T, but it can go through your mask. So not only does it deform you, but it also can affect your lungs if you survive it. So you'll be deformed and you basically jacked up. Yeah, Variant G is Nova 6, but it's jacked up. And there's an even better version of Variant G, which is the final, most powerful. Oh, well, so yeah, but before you go, this is the final boss, Variant B. Variant B, strongest ever. Combination of every single known variant form in history, and it spreads like wildfire. It spreads faster than the common cold, the flu, swine flu, COVID-19, any virus you could think of. It spreads so fast, it can infect 100,000 people within a minute. It is that fast. So, this is why Variant X is dangerous. It is so effective. It is so effective at fighting and just killing everybody. That's why Variant X needs to be stopped before more research goes onto it. So thank you guys for listening to this. And if you guys haven't read it yet, I would highly recommend you read before I send in the trailer. So the trailer, I'm going to basically put up my what page, and then I'm going to make a video afterwards describing why I did what I did and why, how I did it, and I'll even explain what some of the things that went on in the trailer were. So, guys like the series so far, comment Variant X down below in the comment section if you actually like the series, especially Variant X. Also, comment down in which part of the series, of which part of A Fight for All, did you first see Variant X?